Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Pile number 14, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we're going to deep dive into love the community, then talk about what is happening on SwissBorg Network, and then have some relaxing time on the beach, straight from the Bahamas. As you guys know, it's been a lovely pleasure with you. No, I'm not at the beach. I'm at the office. So we're not actually in Bahamas, but what we could do is meet next week on Thursday. Essentially, we'll be going to MetaFest. For those who already participated last year, MetaFest was a great place, a great event that happens in Crans-Montana. This time will happen in Crans-Montana again, the 13th of April. Hopefully we won't have a snowstorm, but in case we have like a really nice place this time. It's all about connecting artists, people in crypto, NFTs, AI, technology, and doing that just before the wonderful, essentially, Caprice, which will happen the day right after. This day is going to be essentially involving a lot of different cool people that some of you guys know very well, some that are artists, technologists, futurists, of course, a lot of SwissBorg community there. I'm really looking forward to see you guys. This will happen again next Thursday, 13th in Crans-Montana. You could book your tickets. The same night, actually, we'll have as well, after that, stand-up comedians with Redouane and other really good French people, speakers and Swiss people, but in French. So that, and then they'll have an after party. I will be going to the day talking about SwissBorg and really cool stuff, what we're doing. Of course, I'll be going to the comedy club too. It's the Montreux Comedy Club actually organizing this. And then, yeah, nighttime is going to be a party. So looking forward to see you, all those during these events again on April 13th. Please book your tickets. Looking forward to see you there. So guys, back to business and back to the Series A and the Hero Score. Today, it's only about SwissBorg shares and about CHSB token and how to propose both of them to the moon. Of course, as you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel, the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Question of the week. Hey lads, BGP, anyone got information when the cashback will happen? I think so. It will happen by the end of May. Obviously, these dates could be variable, but essentially the whole Series A will close technically. So it closed to invest. It closed essentially on the 31st, but it takes some time to do all the workout, paper, legal structure, and everything. So I think so. We'll like to do the payouts in May, end of May, if that happens well. News of the week. Well, essentially, Ellen is making Dodge the crazy token of this month, and it's not April's Fool. Looks like we want to list it. Roman Sprengers, we heard your voice. We heard a lot of other people putting that. Unfortunately, Binance, there's getting more and more allegations against them. Really, people trying to bring down Binance. It's sad. And the great news here, it's Zero Labs that finally was able to get everything back. So good luck to Eurolabs. Maybe that means there's a second life, there's new hope, and I think so that is great. And SwissBorg will probably be retrieving our funds very soon, hopefully. Macro forecast, just quickly what is happening. All in all, it seems like there's this very strong barrier and a resistance that's on 28K, which is funny. It's usually there's a support that is somewhere there, and then there's a resistance there. And 28K seems floating the right thing, which shows that essentially Bitcoin is a great thing against inflation. It's a great thing against essentially the economy collapsing. It's a great thing, an investment for essentially investing into the future and to have a very decorrelated way. So this is what I like the most. There's the predictability that we're out of the bear market is very high, which is good. So based on what we believe is that we are now a recovery trend since the debut of this year, which is really, really good. However, please bear in mind, we're in shaky periods. We know well that the macro is still horrible. War is there. Central banks having issues, potential other banks that could fall by themselves. Inflation is still not there. Still rates to be hiked. So we're definitely not on this perfection curve that will bring us right all-time high. We could still go in other patterns where we go lower and then rebound. We could go slowly and go up. We're not, or we could as well eventually blow up, but it's still not, nothing is clear. Doubts, what is very important. And what is very interesting here is that Goldak and Nasdaq, the best of both worlds recently, we're really seeing that, well, essentially BTC is the gold 2.0, and we're seeing it's beating gold itself, and it's not as correlated as it used to, which is quite interesting. And the BTC, the correlation since the beginning of the year, you see that the correlation is not too high either. So I think so. This is really, really good that finally BTC is doing very well, and it's a good proxy for gold, and it's a good proxy for tech companies or for Nasdaq. Last but not least, Shanghai is happening, which enable people to finally be able to unstake their Ether into the different platforms such as Lido or different staking programs that have around the world, which is really, really good. It will bring more liquidity, which is very interesting. Some people believe that there will be some selling pressure, and some people actually believe that since the protocol is really pumping and is delivering it extremely well for the merge, the verge, and the purge, Ethereum is doing fantastically well, so that will be buying pressure. From my perspective, I see both sides, but I see obviously a very positive outflow out of a positive, a part of the creation based on this new release. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to bring liquid and staking to the next level and more trust into their ecosystem. The Series A, I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank as well the superstars here that from Declan, KX, Jason, Hans, GDH, Roma, Rowan, BS, Vincent, L3, Roman, F3, Benja, EV, Joanne, MY, Sarah, F3, and Rigob, DQ. You guys have been part of the superstars, those who have participated and brought the greatest amount of people, which is really, really good. That means you are nominated to win a Super Tesla branded with SwissBorg logos and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and probably some cool things about you with your QR code. And I think so. This is very exciting. I really think that this is a great opportunity for you guys to show off the world the love you have for SwissBorg and to have a freaking cool car. Just just to let you know, I have a Tesla as well, so I haven't won it, unfortunately. I paid it by my pocket, but I'll probably have some very similar one. So I like to do similar designs to you guys. Whoever's gonna win, as you guys know, is about nominating who would be truly the right person. It's not only based on your score, but it'll be based on people that will vote for you and make this competition very loyal. So the 10 people will essentially, you'll be able to elect who deserves it the best. I think there's going to be videos made out of it and cool art, different things. For those after the lists, we'll have the potential of sharing 100,000 CHSB. And the last will be winning a watch, I think so. So really looking forward now to reward you guys in a very meritocratic way. Just a big thank you guys and a massive, from this massive outcome that no one ever thought it was going to happen. But I knew that, SwissBorg, we get where we are because we have the right hearts, we have the right brains, we have the right souls, and we really push the limits. We set records, world records for this one, where we raised over $23 million, 16,660 amazing investors, shareholders that are believing in the future of being financial independent, democratizing wealth management by making it fun, fair, and community-centric. I really, 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 really want to thank you. It's an honor to be, serving this cause with you. I'm really amazed about it. Having a lot of great messages recently from a lot of people around this beautiful planet saying how great we are. But to be honest, the only greatness we have is you. And I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart again. This is truly amazing. And talking about amazing things, now I have my brother Alex that will show you the lights of how to become a hero, from a shareholder, so a token holder to a shareholder, and how we could finally together build a meritocratic way and be rewarded in a very fun and fair way. So let's dive into it, and welcome Alex. Guys, couldn't be more excited about talking about our dear loved SwissBorg token with our dear brother Alex Fazel. That's going to talk about how we're going to move from, having a great token from our ecosystem, but bringing finally meritocracy. Meritocracy, the number one word that we always try to really bring into the SwissBorg ecosystem in order to really decentralize governance, but reward yourself, the ones that contribute to the best, the ones that we want to give the most power, the most love. And for this, I am very excited to have Alex with us. Alex, tell us all about how. Before.
Yeah, absolutely. Always here to serve you. Who did I just submit to? Hey, guys, let us know in the comment section. I love when you do that, Sai. It's pretty funny. So essentially, I think it's really good for us guys to take a step back and really understand everything from the problem and solution standpoint. So I think, we started off with the hero score and we talked about different ideas and focused more on the what and not on the why. So today we want to take a bit of a step back and really explain to you what are the core problems that we're solving with the hero score. Well, number one, without a hero score, what's happening is we have a lack of personal identity. So your identity is a group identity and not a personal identity. And that in itself is already flawed because you may be a part of a group, but your behavior is different. And due to the lack of personal identity, what happens as a consequence of this problem is that there are no particular ways to reward you specifically based on all the value that you contribute to the SwissBorg ecosystem. And because of that, the next consequence is it creates what we call an unfair rewarding mechanism, because there may be some people, let's say, for instance, who are a genesis or generation that are not necessarily contributing as much as other people and using the app, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really important that we have both identities, the group, which is the premiums, but also your personal identity. And it creates negative community sentiment, because if you have an unfair rewarding mechanism, it starts getting people frustrated, because someone who, let's say, maybe has 100,000 CHSB tokens, has been using the app since day one, has been active everywhere, and is getting treated the exact same way as another Genesis who maybe only has one CHSB staked and is mainly using, let's say, stable coins or Bitcoin, but not contributing to other things. That will create a negative community sentiment. And as you can see here, the negative cycle here, the vicious cycle, Sai, is that it leads to a sell-off in CHSB. So I don't know if you have any comments, Sai, but a simple way of seeing what the core or the root cause, the core problem, the root cause is, and how it kind of snowballs into a more negative cycle. Sai, back to you.
Yeah, I think so. It's really a great way to think about how we have built this community index that really favors our entire ecosystem and how to reward people based on how successful essentially SwissBorg is. I think so something that's very aligned and sustainable. And I think so not having a hero score, which is your individual index in some ways, is somewhere a little bit unfair. Because, although the community is the one most important thing, let's put it clearly, it is still quite interesting to be able to say I've worked really hard on this one. Probably I should have incentives that rewards me in a better way. And if you have that very, good way of pushing and setting the buy higher for each individual person, that will probably follow up with essentially a positive momentum that will create growth and great ideas and great behavior, and just where people could, again, push essentially the whole community towards a better future. And I think so that's the right. Alex, so what's the next steps for the Hero Score? What do you guys thought about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I want to show one example. So I think it's very important that we use like success tips from the past. And we already have like, successful case studies that show us that this is a mechanism that works. And I don't know if anybody knows or heard about this launchpad, but of course, you know who they are, Sai. CoinList, they're probably the best launchpad in the world. They did the Ethereum launchpad. They did Avalanche. They did some of the biggest projects in the world go through CoinList. And just to show people that this is not necessarily a novel idea, although it is innovative, our mechanism is more sophisticated than the one that CoinList uses. This is really cool, by the way. The name, they call it karma points. So, so they transform this into karma. And essentially, you guys can read here, karma is a point system that recognizes your contributions to token networks with value add activities, including staking, lending, voting, governance, and trading. So really, the idea of the karma points is CoinList knows that they're the number one launchpad in the world, right? But they also know that they want to create the right culture across their community, and they want to have it in a way that it benefits the entire ecosystem. So for those who would like to read more about this, all you need to do is type CoinList, just karma points, and you can see exactly how they would score you. So here you have milestone activities based on trades. So here, complete 6 trades on the mobile or on the exchange. Then you have based on staking, stake at least 1 asset, 3 assets, 1 asset for more than 50 days, lending, et cetera, token champion for those who do not dump the tokens, et cetera. So you see, Sai, it's not completely novel, which is good at the end of the day. We don't always have to come up with the most innovative ideas as long as they work, right, Sai?
Exactly. And I think so with airdrops and a lot of different things within the space, like we try to reward people in this meritocratic way. SwissBorg back then, like if you were voting with RSB tokens, you were getting rewarded. And I think so we did put this a bit on the side. And I think so what I like the most about this Hero Score is not this only will give you steps to build healthy habits that will make you to become wealthy. I think so what it is, and in this meritocratic way, to bring things are great. I think so it will, again, create this virtuous circle that I like the most.
Exactly. And I think the cool thing about us, Sai, is, we don't want just usage CHSB tokens. We also want to add an educational component, right, Sai? So the idea is maybe in the first season of the Hero Score, DCA will have extra bonus points. But why? It's not just because we want people to test out the app or try a new functionality. We actually want to ingrain positive habits that will impact their investors' mindset for the future, right? And I think that's one of the duties of a wealth manager, right, Sam? I mean, you worked in wealth management your entire life. Isn't educating or getting people to, have the right habits a key element of it?
That's 2/3 of it. And I think so it's exactly what, we're trying to look here is how to invest with a purpose and being trained like a pro, right? Because be trained like a pro, and many of you guys watching, you already are pros and you know it. I think so this will just, again, say like, well, actually, I'm doing all these steps already, or, oh, I forgot some of these steps. I should be doing that. It just will enable you to get better and to have a strong purpose into your investment, which is, I think so, even at the later stage and how you create your profile and your Web3 identity. But before getting to that, let's try to figure out, Alex, what's the right solution for this?
Yeah, absolutely. So here are all the whys, guys. So the first why that we have is why for you, the people who matter the most, the community, right? Community first, as we always say at SwissBorg. So why is the Hero Score good for you guys? Once again, it gives a strong reason to hold more CHSB, even accumulate CHSB on top of staking and just a premium. So it really doubles the power of the CHSB because CHSB connects to groups, connects to you on an individual level, and it doubles the reward system, right? You have a reward system for premiums, and you have a specific reward system for the hero score. Once again, guys, for those who missed the previous video 2 weeks ago, we talked about fixed utilities. So premiums are for the fixed utilities, which means things that you can do anytime, any day, any second, any hour, such as trade, earn interest, etc. Things that remain constant. But the hero score connects to the variable utilities, which are things that come and go. They have an expiration date. They're time sensitive. And this, as you can see here, is related to ventures, because ventures, we cannot offer it every day. Sometimes if there's no good project to invest in that we're not confident in opening up to the community, we're not going to offer it, right? So it's variable. So ventures, launchpad.
And I heard that there's some great stuff around there. Not going to talk about it. But of course, as you said, sorry, I interrupted you. There's many opportunities, different yields and things that could really bring a la carte type of great, unique offers that could go to that. And then what I think so is very important here is that, go for it, Alex. Actually, I don't want to interrupt you. Go for it, because I know
but I think it's good that you repeated for those who missed the Pow Wow 2 weeks ago. The menu, like the course menu and a la carte, was the actual example in the video. So I think it puts it into perspective and makes it easier to understand the difference. But why for SwissBorg is it good? Well, first of all, we can motivate you guys. Cyrus has always been a huge advocate about making finance fun, fair, and community-centric. Now, Sai, I would love to ask you again. A lot of people think that fun means making a video game. That's not your goal, right? When you say fun, right?
No, I think so. Like fun, it's not necessarily you're going to have to like just invest into Dodge, right? Or you're going to have to make a lot of jokes. Fun essentially is a healthy habit of enjoying what you're doing. And I think so. This is very important. As we see society is moving in the workplace, in life, and everything in general, we're seeing more and more ways to gamify your experience, which doesn't necessarily mean playing Game Boy or playing, Game Boy is probably a bit outdated, but playing everyday FIFA or whatsoever. And I think so, yeah, what we have to is make sure that, of course, it's very serious what we're doing, but have a twist to gamify it and to make it sometimes that, you're not only working, you're actually enjoying doing this. I think so it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys heard it, we're still a wealth management platform. Many people are saying like, oh, I don't want to play video games. I'm here to invest. I'm a serious investor. That won't change. It's not creating a video game, as Cyrus would say. We're still a serious, professional investment platform, but there are ways to add a little bit of just enjoy the experience, right? It shouldn't be felt like a task or a job. It should be enjoyable. So anyways, what are the advantages from the SwissBorg standpoint? We can motivate you by gamifying, not creating a game. So the hero score, we'll talk about the different MVPs probably next week, but we can tell you that there will be leaderboards, there will be badges eventually, maybe NFTs further down the line, and we can make things a lot of fun. As we said just now, we can instill positive habits on the educational side by setting ourselves, for everyone, personal KPIs to increase our financial literacy across different ideas. So for instance, we talked about DCA. That DCA will probably be a point booster or a bonus points usage in the app, particularly now, because most people would agree that we probably bottomed out, and a lot of the biggest and most intelligent people on Twitter or on all socials are highly communicating and pushing their communities to do DCA. And then of course, there's also it's also kind of like a marketing campaign as well, right? Because, all of a sudden, if there's a clear incentive to use DCA, when we release DCA, then all of a sudden we have a marketing campaign. So that's very useful. On the CHSB price action, it connects to, for all those who've been looking at the quadrants, all quadrant 1, so community buying pressure, increased buying pressure, decreased selling pressure, because with a point system, if you sell too much CHSB, you will lose points. But so these things will come out with more clarity later, but it will impact all 4 quadrants. Which is very, very cool. And it will give the reasons for everyone to be a CHSB token holder. And then from a crypto company project standpoint, what's really cool here, guys, is Think about being a project, let's say across the ages. Okay? You guys imagine yourself, you're a part of the Cross the Ages team. You have multiple ways to grow your community, right? You're going to do a launchpad with an exchange, but the problem with a launchpad is some people are here only for the greed, right? They're not behaved in certain ways. They just come in with wealth. They're going to say, oh, okay, I want to get access to this token, so I'm going to buy lots of BNB in the short term. I'm going to get access to this token because I'm going to stake the BNB, and then I'm going to dump everything, right? That's not what the projects want. They don't want people to just come in, buy a token, and dump it. It happened with DAO Maker as well, with DGen Zoo and stuff like that. So that's a problem. Then the other way that companies incentivize their communities to join them, right, Sai, is what we see with Arbitrum, with the airdrops. So Arbitrum is going to offer airdrops for those who use their platform. But once again, one guy is going to create with bots, 10,000 accounts, and then he's going to hack the system and he's going to get access to $250,000, $300,000 of ARB token airdrops, and he's going to hack the system. And this hero score really, you guys as a project, as a member of Cross the Ages or one of these cool projects coming out, you don't want just investors, but you don't want just users. You want investors and users. And we'll talk about how the hero score can specifically solve this problem. But this is a massive, massive benefit, because when we incentivize projects who are raising funds and we're sharing that we have a hero score, they will be willing to give more for you guys, the heroes out there. So I hope I didn't make it so too complicated, Sai, but I'm just trying to show that there is a very clear incentive economy.
No, I think so. It's very clear, and I'm very excited how this is really unfolding itself. It for me is definitely the path going forward. Being able to again, what we've done with Crew 3, which is really more marketing driven, and how we with the community can have different challenges to grow. Here, it's really to grow yourself, to how to make a better person. And I think so. This is probably the one thing that finance and hero never really combines that mindset. And I think so at SwissBorg, we always wanted to be a community that shares something unique, which is obviously growing as a community, but growing as a person as well, setting a standard a little bit higher, training like a pro, we just said, and making sure that we are rewarding people in a fair way. And I think so. This is definitely about democratizing, because for the people, for example, that will, like, let's say, so now how this convinces you is quite easy, right? It's, you all are CHSB token holders, you know that you are going to get more power thanks to this if you're doing the right things. It's a no-brainer. But now let's go through that person that just starts the SwissBorg app, like someone that's at debut, maybe your father, your mother, or your children, right? And if they start to realize, like, okay, so what do I have to do? Well, I have to download the app, I have to do KYC. Okay, now I have to deposit funds. What do I do with these funds? Well, like, if we could type to tell you, like, what are the healthy, essentially, patterns to have, this would probably really not only bring a great tool for people to buy and get into crypto, go into DeFi, build those thematics, DCA whatsoever, but it will tell them really how to manage and create wealth, to create and manage wealth. And I think so that will create the best experience. We'll be very far from the trading, blow up type of crypto world or the crypto casinos. We'll be all the way on top there. We'll have something that feels safe, something that feels secure, and something that is very community-centric, fair, and fun at the same time. So, I don't know. What's your last words, Alex?
Yeah, I would love to drop a little bit of alpha, Sai, if that's okay.
Go for it.
So a lot of you must be wondering this. So first of all, Sai, I think that a lot of people are a little bit scared, which is normal, because I think whenever there's something new that comes and we get out of our comfort zone, people are a little bit afraid. Oh my God, what's my score going to be like? Am I going to be treated fairly? And we will give you guys the exact rules, like what is going to be created. But one thing to understand with the hero score, guys, is just like a World Cup, a football World Cup, there will be seasons. So we will have seasons. And the importance of seasons, guys, is that we can change the rules of the game. Because as we evolve as a community, as we listen to all your feedback, by the way, the feedback on here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Discord, on the Hero Score has been so easy because we obviously do workshops, with many of the community members, with the people internally. But I think on a qualitative side, that's cool. But we need quantity as well to validate these ideas. But so far, Sai, I can tell you all that in terms of the criteria, and it's not fixed yet, things can change. But the community, Sai, has asked for 50% of the score to be directly linked with the CHSB. And that is wide. That's community-wide. Many people are saying we want at least 50% because the CHSB token didn't have enough power. And since maybe like the end of 2021, they really want to focus on CHSB because that will bring everyone's sentiment and joy up. So 50% so far will be included into the CHSB. There's also going to be a percentage of the premium tiers, of course. So Genesis generation, don't worry, guys. Yes, this will be a part of the scoring system. Have, of course, the CHSB. We talked about premium tiers. The third component, Sai, is the activity within the app. And that includes AUM, it includes using the yields, it includes thematics, it includes just, buying and selling, anything that can bring activity, which at the end of the day, a lot of companies value a company a lot more by the activity rather than the total amount of users, because you can have 10 million users, right, Sai? If you have 100,000 that are active, it's just vanity metrics, right? It doesn't really
100%.
communicate much. So daily activity in the app is going to account for roughly 30 to 40%. And then, guys, one of the really important factors, and the fourth factor, is time. And the reason why, Sai, we thought time was really important, it's because let's imagine, I'm not going to name you the guy, but one of our community members who doesn't necessarily have the wealth that some other guys may have, but has been using the app since day one and has been using with the transactions, has been active. He's holding his CHSB. He's really well behaved. We don't want these super wealthy people to just come in and skip the queue. We still need a queue. We need something that factors and takes into consideration time on the app. So if you had positive habits over, since day one or since the early days, you will get extra points for that. And if you don't mind me just asking one question, Sai, because the final question that we're asking ourselves is, should we have in the future, guys, like something where rather than staking CHSB, right, with that daily liquidity, what if, Sai, we could stake CHSB for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, right? And lock those up for extra points. I don't know what you think, Sai, but we haven't actually talked about that with the community.
Yeah, I like that. I what I was thinking about Anthony the other day, I was saying, like, imagine the same with, like, it would not unlock until you get to like $10, right? Or $8 or whatever, $5, $2, whatever it is. And those like time locks or like goal lock could be something very interesting. And that's definitely things to be considered for sure.
Yeah, I would love to hear your feedback, guys. Let us know in the comment section below. Message us on Twitter to let us know. But I think, Sai, like a lot of the metrics that really excites the community is not necessarily CHSB staked, but CHSB locked, right? A lot of people love that metric on the CHSB dashboard. So let us know your opinion. I honestly would love to see that in a season 2, but we'll see.
Cool. Well, I can't say anything. Alex, is that it?
That's it. Yeah, I hope you guys understand why we're doing this.
Yeah. And just to make it sure once more, we're creating a hero score that enable people to finally meritocratically reward right patterns, right habits for you to have the healthy ones that will build you the wealthy scenarios for your life. I think so. It's very important to have a strong community to go towards in direction, but we need individually to step up the bar in order to get better at what we're doing. And I think so that's extremely important. There's so much then that could be done in multiple different seasons. All of these ways will be customized based on the macro perspective that we believe are the healthy ones. It'll be based on the different release of the products that we think that'll be the right ones. So we're always really trying to bring this wealth management experience to the next level by making it fun, fair, and
community centric. And guys, let me imitate someone again. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and love your
CHSB. Perfect, Alex. Loved it. We should have done like only 5 minutes, and we did 25. Like, oh
yeah, that was way too long. Sorry, guys, but hopefully we covered enough detail and put enough examples out to make it to clarify things.
Much love. Another week and another world record. And thanks to you guys, it's amazing to see how much enthusiasm, how much love, how much dedication and hard work we have at SwissBorg, and how our community backs all of that. I am even more excited by the fact that how we're going to push this. We brought the community index to really strengthen our own beautiful way to track us and to get better. And now this hero score is even going to track yourself like your personal coach to get to be better, to have the healthy habits to become wealthy. So as always, be healthy, be wealthy, lower our CHSB, and now our equity. Many thanks, Borges.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing. Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.